Sorry, I've got somewhere else to be. See you, Shirou said as he quickly left the cafeteria, leaving Arturia, Ishtar, Parvati, Saitonai, Astria, Irisville, Kiritsugu, Jaguarman, and Emiya behind. At that moment, everyone was confused with what just happened, especially Arturia. Okay. What is going on with Emiya-kun lately? He's becoming so busy lately. Ishtar said. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of what I used to be. Arturia said. Nasan, do you have any idea of what's going on with Senpai? Parvati asked. Ishtar nodded her head sideways in reply. I see. Mel. Shirou better not be hiding any secrets from me. Jaguarman yelled. Calm down, Jaguarman, Irisville said with a smile on her face. Still though, it's not like Oniai-chan to be this busy. Even though he may have his reasons, at least he could have told us about it first. Saitonai said. Exactly. Keeping secrets from others isn't good for one's mental health. Astria yelled. Kiritsugu let out a sigh. Don't tell me he's trying to be me, because that's not good. Emiya sighed as well. So, did anyone talk to him about his recent actions? No. We tried to, but we couldn't have a chance to. Speaking of which, do you have any idea about his actions, Archer? Arturia asked. Sorry to disappoint all of you, but I have no clue on what's going on with him as well, Emiya replied. I see. For a moment, everyone was silent as they were thinking about Shirou's recent behavior and why he was so secretive lately. That was then Irisville had an idea come to her head. Hey! I have an idea. Irisville said with a smile on her face. What is it, Mama? Saitonai asked. Simple. I'll follow him to see what he's been up to. For a moment, Arturia, Ishtar, Parvati, Saitonai, Astria, Kiritsugu, Jaguarman, and Emiya were dumbfounded at Irisville's suggestion. Despite hearing many of Irisville's crazy ideas in the past, this one trumped all her ideas in total. What? Is there something wrong, everyone? Irisville asked innocently. Well, yeah. I mean, suggesting stalking your own adoptive son? That is a bit too crazy, even for me. Ishtar said. Exactly. How did you produce this idea? Parvati asked. Well, just think about it. If we ask Shirou about his recent actions, then he will just keep saying he is fine. Following him is the only way to find out what he's been up to. Irisville replied as she raised a fist in the air. Arturia, Ishtar, Parvati, Saitonai, Astria, Kiritsugu, Jaguarman, and Emiya looked at Irisville's behavior and sweat dropped. Really? After a few more seconds of silence, Arturia continued the conversation. Irisville, don't you think you're going a bit overboard with this plan of yours? Nope? Now if you'll excuse, I've got a Shirou to follow. So, see you. Irisville exclaimed happily as she soon left the cafeteria. At that moment, everyone was shocked at what just transpired. Old man, Mom can be scary sometimes. Emiya said. Yeah, she can be surprisingly scary when she's dead set on something. Kiritsugu said. Shirou was walking in the hallway, minding his own business as he was heading towards a certain location in Chaldea. As he did, he kept turning around to see if there was anyone following him. Okay. Looks like there's nobody following me right now. He then turned around again and kept moving forward. Little did he know that Irisville was following him in the distance. Phew. That was close. Shirou kept turning around at every corner, which makes following him harder, and more exciting as well. This is making things more interesting. Irisville then continued to follow Shirou as he kept walking in the hallway. At one point, Shirou took a turn and Irisville followed him. As she did, she saw Shirou heading into the mini mall. The mini mall? Why is Shirou going in there? Is there something he needs to do over there? Irisville then continued to follow him until he went into a cafe. A cafe? What does Shirou need to do in a cafe? Irisville then looked outside of the cafe to see what Shirou was doing without getting caught. As she was waiting outside of the cafe, what came next gave her a smile on her face. She saw Shirou serving customers in a butler suit. Oh my! To think Shirou was doing something like this and hiding it from us, this is interesting. Irisville thought excitedly. She then soon left the area for two reasons. One was to not bother him, and the other was to tell the others. Have you chosen what you like? Shirou asked, a customer asked. Yes. I would like a shortcake and a cup of coffee, please, the customer replied. As you wish. Your order will be ready within a few minutes, Shirou replied with a smile on his face before he went over to the counter to give the chef the order. As Shirou was giving the order to the chef, it was then that the front door to the cafe was opened. Ah, welcome to Café Maldemore. As Shirou turned around to see who was at the front door, his eyes widened upon seeing who was at the front door. It was Arturia and her counterparts. Shirou's mind was in a complete blank as he was trying to figure out how Arturia and her counterparts found out about the cafe Shirou was working in. What the heck? How did they find me here? And right when it's my shift? Shirou, are you alright? Arturia asked, snapping Shirou out of his thoughts. Why yeah. Anyways, a table, for 13 people, correct? Shirou asked. Yes. Well then, give me a moment. Shirou then headed towards a corner of the cafe. After a few minutes of him scuffling around in the cafe, he came back. We have a table for all of you. Please follow me. Shirou then towards a corner of the cafe with Arturia and her counterparts following him. As they arrived at the corner of the room, there was a giant table and 13 chairs. Arturia and her counterparts sat on the chairs while Shirou handed each of them a menu. Give me a call when you're done with what you want to choose. Yes. Arturia and her counterparts said in unison. Shirou let out a smile and headed towards the counter, where the previous order was done and was about to give in to an earlier customer. Wow. So that's why Shirou's been busy lately. Arturia Lily said. He doesn't have to be this secretive about a part-time job. Arturia Alter said. Still though, Shirou in a butler outfit, it's been a while since we've seen him in one, Santa Arturia Alter said. Indeed. And it still looks good on him, writer Arturia Alter said in agreement. Yeah. I wonder if Da Vinci still has that butler mystic coat around. Lancer Arturia Alter said. Still though, why is Shirou working here? Lancer Arturia asked. Maybe he's running out of QP. Then again, I can't blame him because of the stuff Da Vinci told him to buy for those hoverboard parts, Archer Arturia said. Indeed. Although I'm worried if he passes out again from overworking himself like what happened to Tristan. Ruler Arturia said. What's with about seeing Shirou in a butler suit after a long time? Castor Arturia asked. We'll tell you later. Right now, we need to order something from the menu, Mysterious Heroine X said. Exactly. All of this chit-chat is already making me hungry. Mysterious Heroine XX said. And there's so many sweets here, all of them are making me drool. Mysterious Heroine X Alter said. After a few minutes has passed, Shirou came back to check on Arturia and her counterparts. I take it that all of you are ready now? Arturia nodded in reply. Yeah. We're all ready now. Arturia and her counterparts then gave Shirou their orders to write down, and Shirou headed back to counter to give the massive order to the chef. After a few minutes has passed, Shirou gave Arturia and her counterparts their orders, and they enjoyed it. As Shirou was watching Arturia and her counterparts eat the food they ordered, Shirou asked Arturia on question. "Hey Arturia, how did you find me here?" "MNPH? Oh, Irisfield told us," Arturia replied. Shirou mentally facepalmed at Arturia's answer. Shirou was cleaning the tables, wiping the dust off of them. As he did, he heard the door to the cafe open. He turned around to greet the guest. "Ah, welcome to Café Maldemar." As he turned around, he saw Ishtar, her rider counterpart, and Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal had a surprised look on her face, while Ishtar and her rider counterpart were close to snickering because of his greeting. PHHH. Emiya Kuan's greeting in the cafe, so priceless. Ishtar and her rider counterpart thought in unison. So that's what Emiya Kuan was up to recently. Ereshkigal thought. Are all of you alright? Shirou asked, snapping the goddesses out of their thoughts. HM? Oh, yeah. Anyways, show us to our tables. And they should be worthy of a goddess at least. Ishtar said with a blush on her face. Shirou let out a small sigh. As you wish. Right this way. Shirou then led Ishtar and her counterparts of a table that has a window on the side. Will this do? HM. Well, it may be simple, but it does look good at least, so yeah, Rider Ishtar replied as she, her archer counterpart, and Ereshkigal began to sat down on the chairs. I see. Anyways, here are your menus. I'll be back shortly to see if you're done deciding what to choose. Ereshkigal let out a smile. Thank you, Emiya Kuan. No problem, Shirou said with a smile as he soon headed towards another customer. Wow. So that's what Emiya's Kuan been up to these days. He's been working part-time at a Butler cafe, Ishtar said. Geez. I know he's popular, but how did he end up working in a Butler cafe of all places? Ishtar said. I don't know, but who cares? We've got something to see here, Rider Ishtar said with a smug grin on her face. Ereshkigal let out a sigh. You too. She said as she looked at the menu. Sakura, BB, and her sisters were looking at the cafe. Shirou was in the distance. As they did, they got a glimpse of Shirou wearing a butler outfit. So that's what Senpai was up to recently. Parvati said. So's, he's been working at a cafe as a butler. Kama said. Oh ho. So Senpai's been working secretly as a butler in a cafe, fufufufu. BB said with laughter in the end. Be big sister, calm down. Passionlip said. Meltlilf let out a sigh. Geez, she's already going crazy. What are we going to do right now? King Protea asked. BB let out a sadistic smile. Well, let's go and visit Senpai of course, she exclaimed as she soon began to head towards to where the cafe was, with Parvati, Passionlip, Melt Lilith, and King Protea following her. As they all arrived, Shirou heard the bell chime. Ah, welcome to Café Maldemar. However, what happened next was that BB grabbed a camera out of nowhere and took a photo of Shirou, surprising him. BB? Yes. A photo of Senpai in a butler outfit. I'll treasure this photo for the rest of my life, she exclaimed happily as she danced around. Soon, BB's sisters reached her and started to drag her outside of the cafe. What the hey? Let me go, she exclaimed as she was struggling to get out of her sister's grip. Parvati let out a sigh. Sorry about this Senpai, she apologized as she left with the others. Meanwhile, Shirou was confused with what just happened. Emiya muttered as she looked at the amount of sweets that were on the menu. Emiya, hurry up and choose something, Kuro said. I will. There are so many options to look at here. Emiya muttered in reply. Saitonai let out a sigh. Have you decided what you want, Miyu? Yeah. How about you? Miyu asked. Same. After a few minutes, Emiya was done looking over the menu and came to a decision. All right. I'm done. Kuro let out a small sigh. As she did, she raised her hand, signaling Shirou that she, along with Emiya, Saitonai, and Miyu, were done. I take it that all of you are done ordering from the menu? Shirou asked. Yeah, Oniai-chan. Emiya replied with a smile on her face. Very well, what will the four of you will order? Could I have the chocolate crepe, please? With iced tea as well, Emiya asked. A strawberry shortcake for me, Kuro said. One parfait for me, Saitonai said. And I'll have the apple pie, Miyu said. As you wish, Shirou said as he was done writing down the orders. Your orders will be finished within a few minutes. Until then, please be patient. Yes, Onaiken. Emiya said with a smile on her face. Shirou then let out a smile as well. Very well, I'll be off. He then left the table Emiya, her counterparts, and Miyu were at. As he left, Emiya and her counterparts and Miyu looked at him from behind. Oniai-chan in a butler outfit, that's something you don't see every day. Emiya said. Yeah. And it looks good on him, Kuro said with a smirk on her face. Indeed. I wonder if he should be a butler for the Einsburns. Saitonai said. Miyu let out a sigh. Not a chance. Astria took a sniff at the cup of tea she was holding in her hand. The amora of the tea in front of me, it's sweet, but not too sweet. As she was done sniffing the tea, she then took a drink out of the cup. The taste is subtle, yet pleasant. Well, is the tea well of your liking? Shirou asked. Astria put the teacup down on the table. For a moment, Astria didn't say anything. Then she let out a smile. The tea was quite exquisite, Shirou. My compliments to the brewer of the cafe here. Well, I'm glad that you liked it, Livia, Shirou said with a smile on his face. Astria quickly blushed before giving Shirou his next order. Anyways, I want to order a blueberry tart next. As you wish, Shirou said as he left the table and headed towards the counter. Meanwhile, Astria turned around with a huge blush on her face. By the root, Shirou in a butler outfit is something I will always never forget. And every time he wears it, he's even more beautiful than before. Umu. This is quite the pleasant experience. Saber Nero said proudly. I agree. A cafe like this should be praised for its efforts. Castor Nero said. Exactly. Not to mention that the amount of work here is amazing. Bride Nero exclaimed happily. It was then that Shirou came by with 3 glasses of water that were for Nero and her counterparts. Please lower your voices. We don't want all of you to disturb the other patrons, he said. Ah. My apologies, Saber Nero said with approval from her counterparts. Good. I'm glad that all of you understand. Here are the menus. Feel free to raise your hands whenever you feel like ordering. Okay. Good. Now if you will excuse me, I need to be somewhere else. See you, Shirou said as he soon left to another patron. As Shirou left, Nero and her counterparts looked at Shirou from behind where they were sitting at, and they were amazed. Wow. I didn't know that our praetor was capable of something like this. Saber Nero said in wonder. Indeed. He's so talented in many things. which makes him even more worthy. Caster Nero said. Exactly. I wonder if I could borrow him for his services. Bride Nero said. As so, Nero and her counterparts continued talking about Shirou in a butler outfit. Jean, what is this place? Sieg asked as he was in front of the Butler Cafe along with Jean Dark and her counterparts. Oh, this? This is a Butler Cafe, Sieg Kuan, Jean replied. Huh, what's the difference between a regular cafe and a Butler Cafe? Well, the waiters here was wearing suits and greet us like butlers. I see. TCH, why did I have to join you along with him? Jean Dark Alter asked with a groan. Now, you need to get out occasionally. After all, staying cooped up in your room a lot is not that good for your health, Jean Dark replied. I know that. But why are we going to a Butler Cafe of all places? Well, I just happened to have a coupon for the place I mentioned. Jean Dark Alter was dumbfounded upon hearing her unaltered counterpart's answer. Really? Hey, a coupon is a coupon, Jean Dark Alter, Santa Lily said. Anyways, let's go inside. Soon, Sieg and Jean Dark and her counterparts went into the Butler Cafe. As they did, they heard a familiar voice greeting them. Ah, welcome to Café Maldemore, Shirou greeted. For a moment, Sieg, Jean Dark, and Jean Dark Alter Santa Lily were surprised while Jean Dark Alter was laughing over the fact that Shirou was wearing a butler outfit. What the heck? What are you doing here? And wearing that outfit nevertheless? Jean Dark Alter asked, while laughing at the same time. Well, it's a long story. Shirou replied while Jean Dark Alter was still laughing. Older me, quit making fun of him. Jean Dark Alter, Santa Lily said as she elbowed her older counterpart, making her stop for a moment. All right. She huffed. Sorry for interrupting, but are all of you here to dine in? Shirou asked. Yes, Shirou-san. All 4 of us are here, and I brought a coupon as well. I see. Let me look at it. Jean then gave Shirou the coupon. After a few seconds of looking at it, he gave it back to her. This coupon is acceptable. As so, you'll receive a discount on your order. Now then, shall I show the 4 of you to your table? Yes. Very well. Follow me. Shirou then leads Sieg, Jean, and her counterparts to their table and handed their menus. As he did, he then left them to tend towards the other patrons. Wow. I've never seen Shirou in that outfit before. Sieg said. Me too. Jean Dark said. Yeah. I wonder why he's working here now. Jean Dark Alter, Santa Lily said. Whatever the reason is, it must be embarrassing. Jean Dark Alter said with chuckles in her voice. For the rest of the day, Jean Dark Alter was in a good mood. I wonder what I should pick. Okita Alter said as she looked at the menu in front of her. Me too, everything seems so interesting here. Musashi said in agreement as well. Okita let out a small sigh. Wow. When it comes to fighting, they're so quick on their decisions. But when it comes to sweets on a menu, they're really slow on what to choose. After a few more minutes of reading over the menu, both Okita Alter and Musashi finally decided on their orders. Okay, we're done. Musashi said. Okita let out a small sigh. Finally. She thought as she raised her hand. Excuse me? We're ready to order now. Soon, the waiter arrived, ready to jot down their orders. I see that all of you are ready to order? Yes, Shirou-san, Okita replied. Very well. What will all of you have? I want the macaron set, Okita replied. I'll have the ice cream sundae. Okita Alter said. And I'll have the special giant parfait for me. Musashi exclaimed excitedly. As you wish. Please wait for a moment until your orders are ready. They'll be here within a moment. Okay. Shirou then soon left. As he did, Okita and the others began to start a conversation. Wow. I didn't expect to see Shirou-san here. Okita said. Me neither. Okita Alter said. Yeah. And he looks good in that outfit of his. And the others working here are also wearing the outfit as well. This is interesting. Musashi exclaimed excitedly. Okita let out a sigh. Really? Soon, Shirou arrived with their orders, and they all enjoyed them. As they were done, Okita Alter brought out a smartphone and asked for Shirou's permission to take a group photo. And Shirou did it. Shirou let out a small sigh as he was cleaning up a table. Phew. It's almost closing time in the cafe. Speaking of which, I'm still wondering how Mom found out about me working in the Butler Cafe. Well, either way, my time here is over since today is my last day. However, as he was cleaning the tables, it was then one of his co-workers came up to him. Shirou, we need some help. What is it? He asked as he stopped cleaning the table for a moment. Well, one of our customers is being impolite and is causing a ruckus at the moment. Who? The coworker took a deep breath before continuing. Gilgamesh. Shirou let out a sigh. Wait here. I'll deal with him. Soon, Shirou went over to where Archer Gilgamesh was. As he did, they both looked at each other with hatred in their eyes, especially in Gilgamesh's case. Hey, Gilgamesh, Shirou said. Oh? So, you're working here now, faker? He asked arrogantly. For the time being. Anyways, I've heard from a coworker saying that you've been impolite and started to cause a ruckus here. Humph. This place isn't deserving of my recognition. They should feel honored that I'm even allowing my existence to be here. For a moment, Shirou mentally face-bombed at Gilgamesh's arrogant attitude. Whatever, just stop making a ruckus here. Why should I? It is none of my concern of what I do that affects the mongrels here right now, Gilgamesh said arrogantly. Or else you'll be forced to leave. Huh? How so, faker? Well, either I ask you to leave, or I let Sengo Muramasa possess me for a moment and punch you out of the cafe, like he did to you many times before. There was silence in the room as both Shirou and Gilgamesh didn't say anything after Shirou's choices of options. Well, for a moment, nothing happened. Then Gilgamesh got out of his seat. Fine, I'll leave. This place was boring me anyways. Then Gilgamesh left. As he did, Shirou let out a sigh. Phew. Hope I won't be seeing him for today. Soon, Shirou resumed cleaning the tables. As he was done with the task, he then changed back into his normal clothes and left the cafe, where he heard a familiar voice calling out him. Shirou. Upon hearing the voice, Shirou turned around to see Irisville, who was looking at him with a smile on her face. She let out a small sigh. Hey there, Mom. What are you doing here? Oh my. I'm just here to check on my son. Is there something wrong with that? Irisville asked innocently. Well, no. Anyways, I assume that you're probably wondering why I'm working here, right? And I already know that you saw me here earlier because of Arturia and her counterparts, Shirou asked. Yeah. Why are you working here? Irisville replied. Shirou let out a sigh. Well, to put it short, it's all because of Da Vinci. Da Vinci, huh? Let me guess, she roped you into this somehow? Well, no. Rather, I lost a bet with her. Shirou said with embarrassment. For a moment, Irisville was silent before starting to laugh out loud. Ha 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 ha. Really? You were working here because you lost a bet with Da Vinci? Why yeah. No way. What kind of bet was it? In fact, I've never seen you bet before. Just what was it? Irisville asked, in fits of laughter. Well, Da Vinci dared me a bet that Romani would not look at any Magi Mari-related stuff for an entire week. Irisville was confused for a moment. Magi Mari? A net idol. Anyways, from what I heard, Romani is an advocate fan of Magi Mari, and would always spend his free time looking at any of Magi Mari's live streams. And he would never, I repeat, never miss out on any one of them. Is that so? Irisville asked as she was interested in the conversation. Yeah. Anyways, what happened next is that Romani was not allowed to see anything related to Magi Mari for an entire week. And well, he did to Da Vinci's surprise, but he did not look so good in the process. And that's how you ended up in this situation, Irisville said as she finished the conversation. Speaking of which, what was going to happen to Da Vinci if he won the bet? Well, if I won the bet, Da Vinci would not be allowed to use me for any of her experiments for a week. Irisville was shocked at the bet. Really? Yeah. I see. So how long is this bet going to last? Well, today is the last day actually, so tomorrow, everything will be back to normal. Oh. Well, then, I have one more question for you. What is it? It was then Irisville brought out her camera. Will you allow me to take a picture of you in the outfit? She asked with a smile on her face. Shirou let out a sigh,